Hello, everybody. We are back. What an exciting time. I am so grateful that we are back today. We got Austin finally back. He's back from his little London excursion. I don't know if you wanted me to tell the people.
Yeah, it's like, no one knows. I'm just kidding.
But once again, we appreciate y'all being a part of our YouTube family. We appreciate y'all listening in, tuning in. We have an amazing guest today. This guest will just enlighten us on a lot of different things in real estate. So let's just introduce ourselves, but also we have funny stories. So we usually start with, like, Michael, we start with like funny stories and stuff like that. But once again, everybody, I'm Dr. Briley.
And also Tony.
And our guest, who we have today with us.
I'm Michael with Premier Mortgage Associates. So I'm a lender based throughout the entire country.
And so he is actually joining us, not in person, but we did have our producer put it together for us today where we can get him here. Where are you located?
So I physically live in Miami. I have an
Miami.
office in Boca, so
That's what I'm talking about. Living a good life. Living a good life. I love Miami. So what we're going to do, Austin, you just started off because I know you have some interesting stories. You have not been here.
I know.
You haven't been
I
here.
was making stories.
You was making stories for the
memories.
YouTube podcast. Yeah, he's making stories. But what's something good that happened to you or something funny, amazing?
I think funny was I was trying to think. There's always something stupid that I'm caught up in, but the best was I felt like it was a movie, but we were getting off the train one night whenever we were in London, and one of my friends, I'm like not a pushy person, I take my time, so
Right.
They already made the rule that I'm not allowed to be the first one off the train because you
Right.
only have seconds, to hop off.
Right.
So anyways, we were out in the middle of the weekend and tons of people were rushing in. I can't get out, so I'm like making my way slowly through people, just letting them push me, bounce all around. And our last friend couldn't get off the train. The doors, she comes up to the door and they just shut. And she's sitting there just staring at the window and you can see her cussing. She's screaming
It's
at
just shut
me.
in front of her face.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so we were like, just ride it. We'll catch up to you. So that was probably the worst. So we had to wait, let her go all the way around to another stop. We hopped on the next train, had to meet her, come back to the place we were stuck at.
It's kind of crazy when you break up, like when you're in another country or you're in another state and you're
Right.
all vacationing together, and then all of a sudden you just
Split up.
It's kind of crazy because you want to make sure everybody's okay, everybody's good. So
Right.
that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Michael, do you have anything that happened this week to you, last week to you? It's Thanksgiving. We should have some Thanksgiving family adventures or something that has popped off, flipping over tables or something. What's something that happened to you good?
oh my goodness, let me think. So Thanksgiving was Thursday. I'm Italian, so I don't, there was always a couple arguments at the dinner table.
Well, we don't want to get you in trouble
I'm trying
now.
to think something
We don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah, I know. We could just say it looked like an episode of Housewives in New Jersey at the Thanksgiving table. So nothing else exciting, just slow. So just enjoying the family, getting yelled at, putting the Christmas tree up around with my girlfriend, things like that.
What life? That's called life, You keep doing it, stay out of trouble now. I don't want you to be in trouble. I'm glad you didn't share too much about the family drama. Because I don't want them coming after me on the podcast.
Yeah, he's got that authentic Sicilian
Uh-oh.
family.
They get mad quick. Now tell them I love them. Kisses and hugs. No, let's see. What's something that happened to me that's interesting? I always have crazy stuff that's always happening to me. I actually shared like 4 stories while I was in here getting ready behind the scenes, and I don't even know if I want to share one of them because people be like, "Oh,
That was her at the stoplight."
right." That was like her at the stoplight. So I'm trying to think. Let me see. Okay, well, recently my sister closed.
Right.
That was one of your clients, one of your customers. And so I think probably it's not necessarily funny, but she was super excited.
Yeah.
She was super excited. We're going to actually have her on the podcast. So she was super excited. Everything is kind of moving at a funny dimension right now in real estate. I can't even really I don't even know what to call it. It's called like, I mean, it's not a dry period,
Right.
but you're getting like drips of water in your throat or something. And and then when you get it, you're like, oh, thank you. It's so good. Thank you. I got it closed, or I
Yeah.
got this one done. So it's like a weird time right now. So just about her, we was at closing, and she was just like in a daze,
Right.
because it's a lot that happens when you're building a house from scratch. So
Right.
she was just in a daze, and I literally had to say, "Hey, do you want to take a picture with the key?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, we should take pictures."
Yeah.
So that was pretty. It's just been pretty weird this last fourth quarter going out of the year.
Right.
So
Yeah, we
but-
try to never say good or bad.
Right,
Market,
right.
just different.
It's different. That's why I don't ever want to taboo it. I always say it's like a little thirst of water. Like with right now, somebody has like just turned the faucet on, and we're getting like little drips, and we're like, thank you, thank you, thank you. So anyway, we're gonna start with you, Michael. We want to know more about you, and I'll let Austin kind of kick it off and ask you some questions so we could get to know more about you and what's going on in your world.
Yeah, so I think just talk a little bit about where you started in the industry. I know your whole history, but talk a little bit about your family being in the industry. I know you grew up in the industry, so I think just tell everybody a little bit about where you started.
Okay. Start now.
Yep, you're gone.
You're alive,
Okay,
Michael.
cool. Yeah, so I started. Or a lot. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I started off in the mortgage industry back in 2018. Not actually a licensed loan officer, but doing some interactive stuff, kind of like I say, like what a transaction coordinator would do for a realtor. So I started off there. I come from a family business, family generation of loan officers. My family's been doing it for longer than 30 years, if you could believe that. So I have, taken the bulls by the horns, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do, right out of college. I went to college for, ironically, dentistry and then nursing, and I think an anatomy class pretty much had me, drop out of there when I had to. I think it was like 112 bones. I knew that wasn't for me when I had to name all of them. So I've been doing it, the mortgage industry for about 8 years. I love it. It's something that I cherish, and I meet cool people like Austin and realtors all over the country. I do business in multiple states, meaning that I just don't work in just Florida or Texas. So it's a cool thing, and I get to travel the country, meet with realtors, understand markets, and it's a knowledge that I can give people that most people can't because they're only licensed in a few states. So yeah, it's a little bit about me. Nothing too exciting or fancy.
Well, to me, it sounds kind of fancy because if you're traveling like that and then you get the opportunity to, you're helping people, get their dream homes or, their first home. Um, I have a question for you. So right now, where we are in the market, what would you call this time for mortgage people? Like, what's happening right now?
Um, I think that's a really interesting question. Because there's a lot of answers I could give you, but let me give you my favorite answer, because I think a lot of people don't really know what's going on in the market, and I would say that every market in the country is different right now. So, for example, like I can tell you right now, you guys are located in Texas. Texas is probably my hottest market, where I think it's still a buyer's market. I do not think that sellers are getting the stuff that they want. I'm having majority of my buyers still get closing cost help, and I tell people this is a fantastic time to buy. I'm not saying this because I'm a salesman. It's what I do. I tell people because listen, let's play. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say the rates go to 4%, which you where you want them to go.
Mm,
Now you are up against four more buyers than you were one more buyer. So, for example, you see houses that sit on the market 50, 60 days. They're going to take a lot of what you give them. Hey, you want closing costs help? You want this contingency, that. But when the rates come down, you're going to get buyers from everywhere. And then you're going to have also inflated house prices. So it's not always a good thing of like, hey, the rates come
right.
down, house prices go up. That's what history has shown us. So I would say we're at a stable market with the rates. I have clients in the high fives right now, which is awesome.
Well, that's amazing. When COVID happened, and I share my story all the time with people. When COVID happened, it's like anytime something bad happens or somebody or the market gets scared, it's a good time to refi if you already have a home or something. And so I was able to refi during COVID, and I was pushing the envelope because the bank wasn't really open. So I had called like people that the branch manager, and I'm like, look, I want to refi. So I got mine down to, I think I told you, like a 1.9.
Right.
And that's like phenomenal for a brand new home built from the ground up. So, people got to look at that margin and find that little happy spot. And then you got to run, take your shoes off, bust off running to, try to get the best deals possible, get to the mortgage company as fast as you can to even refi. I want to let the viewers know that we got all these multiple cameras, so you're gonna see us looking at our tablets, looking at the, so we don't know what to look at. So if we're looking a little cockeyed or something, which we work with us, okay? Don't be getting in the comments telling me why my eye was going to the right or to the left, because y'all like to do me like that. But they like to do me like that. So Michael, I just had to let them know, because sometimes we get some old crazy comments, but I appreciate them. You're making the numbers go up, so thank you. Thank you. So with the when we look at Texas, you said Texas is
Correct.
a good market, right? Texas is still
I
hot.
would say things that make Texas is the affordability. And house prices are lower there than other places.
I think we losing you a little bit. Is he back?
You guys got me
Michael,
back?
turn that camera on.
Is it better
Oh,
now?
I'm gonna get you now. What kind of internet service you got, Michael? I'm gonna get you, Michael.
I'm about to get hot wire call. You guys can see me or no?
I can see you now. You back. And who's that behind you?
Okay.
Who's that behind you?
Get me going again.
You look.
What I
You gotta love technology, y'all, for real. We in a whole nother world. Y'all remember I did an episode with AI, and we were talking with AI. But we're utilizing today another platform to bring y'all somebody from Miami, which is Michael. And go ahead and hit us with another questions. We got Michael back now.
Right. So we'll actually get into some deeper questions. I think one thing I hear a lot of questions about from buyers specifically is just getting to know rates. Everyone just listens to what's on social media, or they just
Right.
Google it and read right off. I'd like for people to hear from you, Michael, where you actually pull those numbers and where you're actually paying attention to, rather than just hearing, oh, the feds have dropped the rates, because we both know that doesn't mean the consumer rates are changing. So there's a lot into that people don't know. I think it'd be good to talk about that a little bit, just give some insight.
For sure, yeah. So that's a great point you make. Just because the feds drop the rates doesn't mean they, go into the consumer, rate. It typically can take some time, over a couple months, and they're rate cuts, meaning that they do them in intervals and small intervals over time, every quarter, every couple months. So where I am, I'm different than other people. I'm a direct lender, meaning that I'm not a mortgage broker. So I have all different, some rate sheets we pull from that have access to the lowest rates in the industry. And I can also do special community lending programs, things like that, to give people rates. So yes, typically it can be misleading when someone looks online, and it's frustrating as a lender. People go online, they say, what's today's rate? They'll see 5%, but then they see that they're being charged all these points and fees for that 5%. So that's pretty much where I get on the phone with them and have that personal conversation of like, hey, I can give you 5%, but it's probably gonna cost you like 4 points. Or, this is where your current, rates are with no points, 1 point, 2 point, things like that. And yeah, I guess the good thing about me is I'm not a broker. So meaning like, I don't like to ever disrespect mortgage brokers, but I'm not a middleman, meaning I don't have to charge anything extra to, to cover my end. So that's where I tell people, hey, if someone's beating me, get me a legitimate loan estimate and I'll beat it for you. So that's why I say, typically I never really lose clients to rate because I always give people my best and honest rate because I review, I consider referral the highest, freest form of, business. So I know if I do you right, odds are you're going to have a family member or a friend that's looking to buy a house and say, hey, don't use that lender. Don't use the big bank. Give Michael a shot. It's a much more personal feel.
That's good. What is the lowest, I guess, loan that you give on land and home?
So typically land loans, they're 35 to 40% down. I'd have to see, I have the land, I have to broker it out because land is a whole different type of thing. So typically I only do land if it's over 100,000 and you typically need 35 to 40% down. Now loan amount, I could do I've done loan amounts all the way down to 70,000 for for a single family or manufactured home, but I can't do land. It's a whole different type of ball game, and we do construction or permanent loans, all things like that. Buy the land, build a house. So we have all kinds of awesome products, fix and flip, things like that.
So basically, y'all found a niche of what the lane that you stay in. So you saying that land is a little bit different than like the residential home. Could you explain to our viewers what's the difference? Because some people don't know, like they don't know. They just think like if you're a mortgage or if you're the person that lends the money, you should do it all. Like,
Right.
so can you define a little bit for us?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's just different guidelines. So, like a single family house, there's conforming and non-conforming guidelines. Whereas land is a whole different ball game, as in the sense of they have a set down payment, they have a set, I have a set loan amount that I have to do at my company, and certain guidelines for income, and then if you do construction or permanent or fix and flips, what's the value of the property when it's done. So it's basically something that you have to really pay attention to and make sure you're working with someone that knows what they're doing. Because a conventional conforming loan, it's pretty easy. We have the guidelines, we follow them through Fannie and Freddie, the two entities. So that's pretty much the only difference. And also, land is, I tell people, hey, you got to know what you're getting into land. Are you going to build on it? If you're just going to buy a land loan, that's different. But then if you're going to build on it, that's where you're going to look at the construction permanent loan. You get draws of money, things like that. So I have a team member that I work with that I typically, when it's land, I kind of go with him on that because he specializes in it. And I specialize more in the residential, but land, we also take care of that. I just work more with a team member, my sales manager on that.
What else we have, Austin?
So talking about we're hitting all of these rate changes. What do you pay attention to, or consumer wise, or even you? What are lenders? What are they watching that kind of shows where the market's leaning to or where it's heading? What do you kind of focus on? What's a key factor that you're like, oh, this is where it's going to go because
Right.
of this? It's going
Right.
to go up or down.
Typically, we always like to see the bond trade off and the mortgage-backed securities. Once those typically sell, that's when you see the rates drop. So for me, for example, what I have my team do is we get every hour we get notified of the rate changes through a platform online. So we sign up for it. So every hour I get notified of hey, there's a positive market, there's a negative market movement, a positive market. So then I know too when it's a good time to lock my clients in and when it's not. Typically if I see 2 days in a row the market's negative, I want to give it a chance to rally and come back a little bit. So where sometimes if someone's closings on Monday and in a week and it's that the week before Monday and you're like, okay, it was worse today and worse tomorrow, you're probably not going to want to keep waiting for it to get worse. So that's why I give the clients hey, just want to let you know the market was worse today. Do you want to lock in or wait? So that's typically where I'm very transparent and give my clients up to hour rate information whenever they
Awesome.
want.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is that it is so connected to the stock market, at least the bond market, and that is such a thing to focus on, not just the Fed decides a rate, here's the rate, everybody uses this rate, and that's it. Everyone kind of thinks it's that simple.
It's funny because whenever the Fed announces rate cuts, my phone goes off the hook. It's kind of good because I get to talk to people and see where they're at. But everyone just thinks it's like, hey, if the rates are 7% and we're dropping them half a point, everyone just thinks that like, oh, the rates are 6.5% today, right now. Like, hey, let's refi. And I'm like, whoa, everyone like relax. Like, it takes some time, but it is cool for me too because I get all my clients to make sure they aren't, cheating on me or anything out there. So I like,
Oh, you're still
hey,
there.
listen, I'm not in the business to just take your money, do that. So I tell them, hey, maybe wait an extra month or two if you can. If you really, that payment's really killing you, let's do it. But I still think you're going to have more of a drop.
So even when you say lock in, so I guess, and I'm going to ask this question as if I don't know, but I do know. Um, you lock somebody in, and then it drops even lower. Can you unlock and relock?
No. So that's a good question because now you know what I tell when people say that, you know what I say to them? I say, well, what happens when you lock in, the rates get worse. You don't get a higher rate. So when you lock in, you cannot unlock it unless obviously there's a cancellation or something. So there's lock-in periods. You have 15 days, 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, and 75 days. The shorter the lock period, the more competitive the rate's going to be because they're thinking you can't predict it that long. But yes, a short answer, if you lock in for 15 days, that is your rate for 15 days, even if it goes down a percent, you know? But typically that doesn't really happen where it's like, hey, you're locked in. The odds of it, what is it? It gets better an eighth of a point, might save you $10 a payment. People usually aren't that upset, but it's not typically if you're within 15 to 30 days, you're not going to see something that's going to be like, oh crap, I want to lose my mind.
Right. With that said, so what is your ideal client? Because we all have in our industries, we all have our ideal client that if we had like 100 of these clients, we're good for the year. Like, what is your ideal client when they come to you?
I mean, I think it's hard to pick one. I can just tell you that I like to pick two. I love the first time home buyer. I think that's really good, especially, can connect with them more. Um, and I like to educate. So I like the first time home buyer. Sometimes not that I discriminate against them. You got some that bought their second or third house. Maybe Rocket Mortgage did their process differently. They have in their head, oh, what about this? What about that? And it's like, you know, it's a little frustrating, but I still take care of those clients. But I love the first time home buyer. I connect with them. I let them know like, hey, ask me any question. And second, I like just the old school investor, just the person who's like, I got 20 to 30% to put down. I don't really want to talk too much. I'm busy. Get my loan in, get it out. You make me happy. So I like to even it out with those two. So that's what I would say because I am one of the biggest non-qualified mortgage lenders in the country.
Wow.
So, meaning I have really cool loan products for investors that no one else can really compete with. And no income loans, things like that. So sometimes those loans are great. I get 3 documents and we're pretty much good to go.
Right.
We talked on here about non-qualified loans, but do you want
Right.
to define that for the viewers?
Yeah, so it's like a non-qualified mortgage loan is like a lot of times business owners or investors, business owners that maybe own their business and let's be honest, people want to be a business owner because they want to write off their taxes or not claim it all, not show it all on paper. So instead of saying, "Hey, I got to pay the government over these 2 years all this money just to qualify for a house," Like, hey, you don't need to. I've done loans for people that have claimed losses on their tax returns, and loans I don't even need to see your tax returns. You can do bank statement loans, profit and loss loans, all kinds of things. So basically, it's just not a, without explaining it too much, it's not an FHA or conventional loan. It's a non-conforming loan, meaning they have special guidelines tailored to people with unique situations.
And those unique situations, I'm very familiar with them because actually I'm one of those.
That's
people.
what we do.
Yeah, that's one of those people. But and that, a lot of people don't know what that means. But you said it in a pretty much good way to educate people. And it's not like they don't have money. You know what I'm saying? We talked about it before. It's just that the way that they have to do things for their business, whether it's, move money over here for supplies, and now you're having to tell the mortgage company, what that line item is. So it just makes it a little bit more smoother transaction for them because they have the money, they can afford it.
Right.
It's just, let's move on. So
it just doesn't fit these perfect government lines.
Right. I always wonder, will that ever change? I've always wondered, since we got wallets now with you could get paid through your wallet, through your employer with your cryptocurrency and stuff. I'm like, there's so much newer things now that's out there. I'm wondering, will the guidelines change? Will things change where people...
government loans do
Yeah,
this?
Because, we're way past the old orthodox. There's so many different ways of, people making money now. People not going into an office anymore and trying to explain how they make all this money on Amazon or whatever they do on the platforms. So things are changing, so I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Michael?
Do you see Freddie or Franny picking up non-conforming loans, which they would be conforming at that point?
I don't know. Yeah, I think that maybe it'll get a little bit more lenient over the years.
Right.
But I think now that the non-qualified mortgage loans have come out, I don't see too much tweaking because they want to have that security of like, hey, I got the W-2 employee with the money and the 20% down or the 3% down, and all their income's documented and they have a history of it. So I think you're going to see more and more. Or I mean, now, like if you asked me 5 years ago, I'd probably say 90% of my business was just FHA conventional USDA VA. Now it's about 50-50
Right.
normal, and then you said people with all these new ways of making money. And to be honest with you, as a lender, the non-qualified mortgages are actually way easier to do. So, I like them,
Right. No, I totally agree. That's why I said, I think the wave of things is changing. It's not, it's not that cookie cutter no more. You have to fit into this box because, you got people making money all kinds of ways and, doing all kinds of different, ways to make money. The legal way, I must say. Yep. For my viewers, the legal way. You still got to be legal with your money now, y'all. What else you got for us, Austin?
Oh, so let's get in a little bit more into buyers still, obviously, with you. So I think explaining a little bit about how you help buyers navigate, something that I've educated myself with all my lenders are questions that I know they're going to ask the buyer to help define money, assets, where to move things, what to do with it, what looks good on paper. I think define a little bit about some things that you go over with buyers that could give tips out to viewers just of you don't have to have this perfect credit score, this amount in your savings, and this over here.
Yeah.
This doesn't always have to be a perfect line. We can move stuff around. I don't know. Just give some tips. I think would be good of what ways you have helped
people. Yeah, for sure. I mean, one thing is I tell people take for their credit score, just something simple. Keep their credit utilization low. Especially in the beginning of a mortgage process, don't open up new forms of credit. Don't open up a car. It's crazy. You could tell people it's like before they buy a house, and then they're like, "Oh, I bought a Mercedes," and you're just like your hands over your head, like what? Like, your debt to income ratio. Yeah, like your debt to income ratio is, now you don't qualify, So I make sure I have those conversations. Like my clients are so close with me throughout the process that I've had some of them be like, "Hey, I'm out to dinner with my wife. I'm gonna put this $250 dinner on my credit card. Is that okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, that's okay." But that's how I feel like you have to be, because in the beginning of my career, I'll never forget. A day before closing, a credit repull came in, and a client decided to buy a Chevy Tahoe the day before closing, and I'm like, "It's for $750." And I called her, and the realtor was freaking out. And I'm like, the client doesn't qualify anymore. And, I'm like, "You need to go extend your closing date and trade that car in. You can't qualify."
Give that back.
Give it back.
Yeah.
What I wish I knew at the start. Trusting BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group with our commercial landscaping was the best decision ever. BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group has been transforming commercial spaces into green paradises. Our clients can't stop raving about us. Just listen to what they have to say.
First client review. Our property has never looked this good. 5 stars all the way.
Second client review. Professional, reliable, and simply the best in the business. 5-star service.
From lush green lawns to vibrant floral displays, we've got it all covered. Our dedicated team ensures your property not only looks great but stands out.
Third client review. Their attention to detail is incredible. Our landscaping has never been in better hands. 5 stars.
Whether you're a business or an individual, BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group brings expertise, reliability, and a touch of magic to every project. Ready to transform your property? Join the 5-Star Club! Because at BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group, we believe every property deserves to shine. BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group, where properties thrive.
And, then it's a whole thing of, you have to wait. Sometimes it takes 45, 60 days for it to come off your credit report. It's a whole thing. So that's why, my clients, I'm very, upfront and give them tips like, hey, no big purchases, no adding new forms of credit, even if you think you're at Home Depot and they tell you it's only $20 a month, hey, that $20 a month payment could, not qualify you, can change the whole algorithm of a loan, So those are the things I say. And I tell people, I've done credit for people with 505 credit scores, under 580. You can still get a loan with a credit that bad. So, there's all types of things you can do. 0% down loans, down payment assistance loans, things like that.
Well, you're right too, and also a lot of people don't know, and you can go on Amazon, and Amazon will tell you a payment plan. Like you could purchase something on Amazon and it's a payment plan that's still going on your credit.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't know that either, because they'll say, "Well, I did it through Amazon, and I'm
Klarna.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and they don't know, and they like, well, it's through Amazon. It's not on my credit. It's through Amazon.
Right.
But it's not like that. It'll still report and show different things on there. So that is a very key thing to let people know, because it's essential. I can remember a situation when I had my house, when we were building it, there was a lady beside me. She was at closing. We're all at closing at the same time. We kind of closed at the same time, and she actually had the truck at the title company full of furniture for the whole house, and she had just charged it because she was going in to sign the paperwork. Well, that's a little backwards. You should sign the paperwork first and then go charge up whatever you're trying to charge. And the screams and the hollers in that other room was so disturbing and sad, because they told her, this is not happening today. So that was just really, really sad to see, somebody.
All over furniture.
All over furniture.
Like one more day.
What?
Like
Yeah,
6 more
just 24 hours, like all over furniture. And she had furniture but no house, because the furniture was at the title company in the U-Haul truck. So that was just really a crazy situation, and she was just crying and crying and crying. I was like, oh my God.
That's why it's huge to have people like us that are on your tail the whole time.
Yeah.
Because even like your sister has done that. She's called me 100 times throughout. So this is only $150. And I would say, no.
Yeah.
Didn't you go
Yeah.
to the spa this weekend and do this? And she was like, okay, fine.
Right.
I'll wait.
But I'm glad.
Another good tip I give people is I've had someone on my team have some issues with title fraud, meaning people, they'll pull like a search of closings and they'll send in a fake email as the title company, copying their logo and say, hey, here's your wire, send the 50 grand here. And there was a couple of years ago, someone on my team's person sent that, and man, once that wire is gone, that wire is gone, and it's horrible. So that's why I tell people, get your butt on the phone, and it doesn't hurt. Call the title company. Hey, John, did you just send me these wire instructions? Can I repeat them to you? Make sure they're right. And yes, that's one thing I tell people. It's just not worth it to lose money like that.
Right.
Does that happen? Does it happen a lot?
Every single, like, you'll sign one with Michael, you'll sign one with the title company, you sign one with me, all about wire fraud. It's so popular.
Oh, wow.
Like, every lender has it in their email signature now, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just trying to get it in front of everybody.
So with the wire fraud, where's the money come? I mean, so they're just asking the client for the money.
Like, yeah, and you need to pay your HOA dues before closing.
Wow.
Or they'll send, like, send your earnest money in here.
Wow. How do they get that information prior to... I mean, how do they get their hands on that information prior to know to go to that customer?
There's tons of ways to watch it. Like, even our MLS is connected to where it shows that I have the buyer. Then they go and trace my Gmail.
The whole thing.
Yeah, they're hackers, but so they're good at watching moves like that.
That's scary, y'all. That's pretty terrifying at times. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
So they'll be like, oh yeah, your down payment's 50 grand. Here's the wire information. And sometimes they'll get the older people. I especially make sure with my older clients, hey, let me call the title company with you. Let me make sure this is their email, But my company, we put a lot of we actually block a lot of emails just to make sure that, if there's any little bit of a suspicion, we block it and make sure, hey, is this legit? So we try not let a lot of stuff through our server.
That's good. So that means also, too, you have to keep up with your technology for your company to make sure you have the latest and greatest state-of-the-art stuff to block the frauders.
Right.
Yeah.
We had that conversation not too long ago. I guess it's been over a year now with the company I had before. Is I was saying I have so many of my clients' personal documents on my computer.
Right.
It's kind of crazy to me that my company doesn't do anything, which this new company I'm with now, they do that.
Right.
We have all these things that we download to protect our computers.
Right.
Because we have our own personal computers that we pay for, but we have all the same information that's going to the lender and the title company, all this personal information from people. Like, sometimes I get people's bank statements to forward along. Right. And that has their account number on it. And it's just setting in my computer. If I click
it's a
on
lot
one
of information. Right.
So the hacker gets anything they want, and I have somebody else's information on my computer.
Wow.
So,
but there's a lot of information that's
scary.
That we do handle on a day-to-day basis, and it's good too. And then we got the same thing in our property management company. Yeah. We have a lot of blockers, a lot of things that enhances the computer system where it blocks stuff out. So that's really good. We're about to wrap up a little bit, but I'm gonna let you ask one more question today with them.
Michael, how about you just tell us a crazy lending story, something crazier than the Tahoe?
Okay, let's think of one. Okay, I got one that no one believes, but once I do some business with them, they're like, okay, maybe he's legit. I had a buyer one time. He put $150,000 down of earnest money because he was up against so many offers. I don't know why he did that. It was something crazy. And I'm trying to remember what happened. And long story short, I believe he was let go like a month before he was about to retire his job, but we were still using his income to qualify him. and there was 9 days left for closing. I had to, and he was like hyperventilating because he's like, hey, this is my life. Like, the house was only 450 grand, but the 150 grand is like everything I have basically. Now it's at earnest money. So I had to switch him, because the condo was denied for Fannie and Freddie. So I had to switch him to and that was an issue too. I had to switch him to a non-conventional mortgage, a non-QM loan, and I closed his loan in 9 days, and he didn't lose his money. And the listing agent, I remember, we were like, hey, the realtor begged him, could you give us an extension? No. And but then again, like, let's play devil's advocate. Like I always say, if I was a listing agent and they had 150 grand of earnest money and their finance contingency period's up, I would say, oh yeah, my client's not extending. They need to close. So even me tried calling a listing agent. Could you give me 2 days at least? No. So I remember I did the loan in 9 days. So I can say I've done loans in 9 days before. So that's always and the guy literally is like, he's like my best friend now. So he always calls me here and there and thanks me. And I've got
I will be your best friend too if you close me in 9 days.
It was good. It's one of those things where everything has to fall into place. I told the client, I said, hey, when I ask you for a document, say how high, what do you need? So that's a good one. It's always my favorite.
Story. You closed a young man in 9 days, and now y'all best friends, and he came over for Christmas. I mean Thanksgiving. that's no.
Basically, I'm I get it done. I'm a closer. So that's what it is. That's what you want in this business.
Well, we appreciate your time that you took out to be here today with us, and we really appreciate it. If you could just, give us, how can the people that's watching today get a hold of you? How they can, but y'all, he said he was married, so don't reach out like that. This is only by loans. So how can the people get a hold of you?
So two ways. You can always look me up on the internet. My name is Michael Guthneck, and I'm a third. I spelled GuthnEck. Second option is my cell. I give everyone my cell number, 848-210-1992.
We are going into 2026, right? We're in 2025. We started the podcast on April 1st. And we thank you all for watching and sharing and liking, putting your little comments out there that you say. But we also want to let you know that we do now sell commercial spaces on our podcast. So we do sell commercial spaces. So you want to reach out, send us an email, send us anything that you want to get in contact with us, me or Austin, and we will entertain your message, and we will get you some information on pricing and different things of that nature. We are at 271,000 views.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. He said, heck yeah.
We do have the email on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you just go to the information on the YouTube channel, you can email straight from there.
Yeah, you can email straight from there. We're starting to sell commercial spaces, getting in 2026. If you have a business that you're trying to launch, you're trying to get your stuff together, reach out to us, because I absolutely love like new business people. And you probably want to know what Typhoon is. That is our producer. That's our producer. We don't have ours up there right now because that's the producer. And we're going to jump into something real quick. Thank you, Michael, when you watch this YouTube clip. Thank you for coming onto the show. But we walked in here, y'all. We had a little Christmas tree. Can y'all see the little Christmas tree? Can they see it? Yeah. They can see it? Okay. We had a Christmas tree, and the producer gave us some gifts. And that was so sweet. So I do want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because that's pretty cool, I'm a gift giver myself all the time. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool when somebody else gives you a gift. So we're going to open it up live. We don't have... Well, this good, honey. This was a show. This was a show today. This was interesting. I had a good time though. So we gonna see. We ending out the year pretty good.
Dear Dr. Briley,
I
I am so ready for my break.
I know. You have been fired. We've been fired.
I have someone
Live
else
on
to take care of y'all.
Somebody then took over the show. Let's see. Oh, that's so cute. I
that's
like
awesome.
that. Oh, it's from you and your wife. That's so cute. Honey, our producer got the cutest little wife. I got a chance to see her at the holiday party.
Yes.
Cutest little wife. Let me see. Oh, look at that. I like candy. I'm going to have to lose a little bit.
I know, not me.
Huh?
You can have mine.
You-
You can't fit any more candy.
No,
I'm
it's
just
good
kidding.
for you.
I'm just kidding.
It's good for you. Thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you,
appreciate it.
Typhoon.
Oh, and I got the. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, and it's got the bee on there. Look at that. It's got a bee for bad girl. Bad
That's
girl.
what's going through my head.
What'd you say? Oh, that's what's going through your head. Well, I would like to say thank you again. Thank you to you and your wife.
Yes.
It's much love, much appreciated. People don't really see what goes on behind the scenes and stuff of all of the different things that we have to do,
Right.
and to get ready and get it going, and it's a lot sometimes.
It's not just a webcam and
No,
microphone.
a little tripod with a light on
Right.
it. Yeah.
Ring light.
Ring
upload
light,
it to
yeah,
Instagram and
yeah.
done.
It's way more intense than that, and but we really appreciate y'all viewing us and watching us and being a part of the growth. The growth of the 271,000K has been like phenomenal and amazing just to see the numbers grow. To see it became addicted at one time. I'll tell y'all the truth. This is another story. It became addictive one time just to wake up every day to kind of see where we are while we were growing. But we're at a steady growth. Sometimes about 14K a day. So that's pretty cool to see that. So I just want to say thank you again to everybody that's watching and listening. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have needs of wanting to see a episode about something, send it to us. We'll be more than happy to entertain it and see what it is. Now, Mr. Austin went to London, so we have to probably do a segment on that or something on that, because he went down there, had a good time, and I'm pretty sure you looked at it on the real estate level too.
We did. We actually, because I was with some realtors, so
Really?
we stopped into some brokerages that are international. Yeah, we had
Tax write-off.
I was like, our first day there, we got there in the morning. It was morning that time, and we stopped in for brunch. Obviously, had to get a cocktail, and
Wow.
I turned off. I was like, I was on my computer the whole flight.
Are you serious?
And then went to sleep for like a few hours, woke up, and I was turned off. But some of the girls that work for me are like, let's stop in, just talk to them, see what the
Right.
market's like here. And I was like, I don't want to talk about a
Right.
market anywhere right now. I need a day. At least give me a couple hours.
Right.
But no, it ended up being really cool. And just seeing, because, we were in London, so everything's
Right.
more about flats, because you're inner city.
Right.
It's different than, because I don't sell a lot of apartments and stuff in our downtown. I don't really get into that market too much, so it was cool getting to just hear what they have, and it's super popular over there. It's crazy. They have all their listings on their front windows.
Oh,
and
wow.
they sit there and switch them out every time a house sells and puts it
Like a little slider.
No, they're just pieces of paper stuck in the old plastic
Really?
acrylic things stuck to the window. Every single brokerage. It's
Oh my
hilarious.
God.
So everyone's just like walking by, and whenever they want to look at houses, they just go look at the wall and see that this one. So they walk in there and you just grab a flyer out of there for that house.
Oh, wow.
It was different.
That's
Thought it was
different.
fun.
Yeah, that's
And they have an
different.
MLS, so you can still get online and look.
Okay.
And like they still use Zillow over there, but
Okay.
it was just interesting that people do that. People window shop houses.
Right.
And
Get out
flats.
that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it
pretty
was.
different. Well, as we wrap up this session, I just want to say once again, thank you. And if you are out and about for the holiday seasons, be safe. Make sure you go see your family and your loved ones. And I'm probably going to say this to you now. Merry Christmas. Because time is moving so quickly here. We have probably one more show for this year, and that's it. But we will be back strong next year. And thank y'all for watching and tuning. And always stay healthy, wealthy, and wise. And we will do the same. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Bye.
See y'all.